Hello students, welcome to the digital platform of Nalanda Vidyalaya in which we will continue the teaching learning process. Myself Patel Pritesh and I welcome all of you to the new session of our 5th standard English grammar with the title chapter number 7 Degrees of Comparison. Yes, degrees of comparison. Dear students, we have completed 1 to 6 chapters, okay, in which the last chapter with the title adjectives. So let's remember what is all about adjectives, because the chapter number 7 is also totally depend on the chapter number 6. Yes, depend on the adjectives, because these are the degrees of comparison, means these are the comparison of adjectives only. Okay, we have to make this comparison on the adjectives. So an adjective, we can say, is a kind of word that describes a noun. Did you remember that? Yes. An adverb, okay, is a part of speech also. Noun, verb, adjectives, pronoun, preposition, conjunctions, interjections, okay. So all these are the parts of speech in which we have completed noun and then we have completed adjectives. So as I told you, the simple definition of adjective is the word that describes, okay, tells something about the noun, okay, that words, okay, are called adjectives. Now we also completed the 6 types of adjectives. If you remember it, yes, those 6 types are, we can say, descriptive adjectives, demonstrative adjectives, interrogative adjectives, then yes, possessive adjectives, adjective of quantity, and adjective of quality. Okay, quality means we can say this kind of nature also, that is called quality. So all these 6 types, or we can say kinds of adjectives, are there in the 6th chapter. So we have completed all these things, okay, in the previous chapter. Now students, this chapter is all about the degrees of comparison, but comparison of adjectives. Yes, mainly the comparison of adjectives in this chapter. So in this chapter we will try to understand that yes, there are 3 degrees in English, that degrees of comparison of adjectives. Okay, they are, yes, first one is positive degree, second one is, we can say, comparative degree, and third one is superlative degree. We will see one by one with the, we can say, examples and detailed information on it. So let's start our chapter number 7. Okay, so please, as I say, okay, pay attention here in the video. Okay, you can repeat this video again and again to understand the key terms, okay, of the chapter. So let's start the understanding, or we can say the chapter degrees of comparison. Yes students, let's start degrees of comparison. Yes, look at these 3 sentences. I will read. Ravi is a tall boy. Second one, Raja is taller than Ravi. And third one, Rana is the taller of all. So students, here one word is, we can say, highlighted with the red color, okay, that tall, taller, and tallest. So in these 3 examples, or we can say in these 3 sentences, we are doing only one thing, that we are comparing the adjective, okay, with another, you can say, different nouns. So the first one, Ravi is a tall boy, is a simple, we can say, sentence and a simple adjective describing the boy, that yes, tall, the boy is tall. So that the name of the boy is Ravi. Ravi is a tall boy. So it is called positive degree, in which there is no comparison, okay, of any kind of, we can say, with noun or any kind of objects or things. So this is a simple sentence, or we can say simple description or detail about the noun, that is our simple one, positive degree. In the second sentence, Raja is taller than Ravi. So here students, we have made an, we can say, that comparison between 2 boys. Yes, that Ravi and Raja. So Raja is taller than Ravi. Okay, उसकी हाइट उससे ज़्यादा है. तो हमने यहाँ पे क्या किया है, कंपेरिजन किया. यस, कंपेरिजन between any 2 objects, or we can say any 2 between any 2 nouns, okay, things, okay, any actions. So that is called our second degree, which is that, yes, comparative degree. So here we have to compare two objects, two things, two ideas, okay, two actions. So this is called our comparative degree. Tall then become taller. In the third sentence, yes, Rana is the tallest of all. Here we are talking about Rana, that boy is tall, is the tallest, okay, is the tallest मतलब सबसे लंबा है, किससे, बाकी दोनों से, okay. So here we are talking about the comparison of all the, okay, boys, okay, present over here. और हम कह सकते हैं कि सारे ग्रुप के बारे में, या सारे हम कह सकते हैं कि जो भी चीज़ दी गई है उसके बारे में जो कंपैरिजन होता है उसमें जो सुपीरियरिटी होती है, यस, रिमेंबर द वर्ड सुपीरियरिटी, मतलब सबसे टॉप, सबसे अच्छा, that is our superlative degree. Yes, which one? Yes, third one, our superlative degree. So it is tallest, okay. The word tall become taller in comparative, then taller become the tallest in the superlative degree. So students, this is the very basic and simple example to understand the comparison, we can say, yes, degrees of comparison, okay. So let's start its explanation. Yes, in the first sentence, the adjective tall just shows a quality. It does not compare Ravi with any other person. Yes, the adjective tall is said to be in the positive degree. Yes, इस सेंटेंस में रवि का किसी के साथ भी कंपैरिजन नहीं किया है. यस, वो सिंपल सा एक सेंटेंस है अबाउट दैट रवि, okay. So that is our positive degree, okay, in which there is no comparison made, okay, with any other noun or object. Yes, it is used when no comparison is made. Yes, positive degree is used when no comparison is made. यस, जब किसी भी नाउन के साथ या चीज़ के साथ अगर कंपैरिजन नहीं होता है तो हम उस डिग्री को कहेंगे कौन सी डिग्री? यस, पॉजिटिव डिग्री, ओके, विदाउट एनी कंपैरिजन. यस, द सेकंड वन, इन द सेकंड सेंटेंस, टॉलर हेल्प्स us compare Raja with Ravi. So the adjective taller is in the comparative degree. It is used when two people or things are compared. मतलब यहाँ पे जो टॉलर जो एडजेक्टिव यूज हुआ था वो कंपेरेटिव था, मतलब कंपैरिजन थे किसके बीच में? राजा और रवि के बीच में. यस, एंड हु इज टॉलर? लुक एट द सेंटेंस. यस, राजा इज टॉलर देन रवि. तो राजा है वो किससे टॉलर है? रवि से है. तो ये रवि है और ये राजा है तो उससे वो टॉलर है, ओके. सो हियर इट इज कॉल्ड कंपैरिजन. कंपैरिजन का मतलब हम कह सकते हैं कि इसके बीच में हम कह सकते हैं कि कंपैरिजन किया कि दोनों की हाइट कितनी है, उसमें मेजरमेंट में हमें पता चलता है कि राजा थोड़ा ज़्यादा लंबा है रवि से. सो दिस इज कॉल्ड कंपैरेटिव डिग्री. So yes, so the adjective taller is in the comparative degree. Yes, it is in the comparative degree. It is used when two people or things are compared. Okay, it is used when two people or things are compared. जब दो people या things को हम जब compare करते हैं तभी ये comparative degree use होती है. So please remember, if the comparative degree is used only and only between the two things or two, we can say, objects. Understood? So this is our second one, comparative degree. Now the third one. The third sentence tells us that Rana is the tallest of all. Let's see the sentence again. Yes, Rana is the tallest of all. So here students, Rana is the tallest boy, okay, of all. Of all means Ravi and Raja. Ravi और राजा के कंपैरिजन में जो राना है वो सबसे लंबा है. So that's why we have to put THE, the tallest. यस, हमें जो सुपरलेटिव डिग्री है उसके एडजेक्टिव के आगे हमें धी लगाना पड़ता है कंपलसरी. और दूसरी एक बात है, जो हमें कंपैरेटिव डिग्री में है एडजेक्टिव के पीछे धैन THAN वर्ड लगाना पड़ता है. वी हैव टू अप्लाई दैट वर्ड कंपलसरी, ओके. सो रिमेंबर दिस टू थिंग्स, वेरी वी कैन से वेरी स्मॉल रूल्स बट दीज आर कंपलसरी. सो राना इज़ दी टॉलेस्ट ऑफ ऑल. दी टॉलेस्ट का मतलब होता है कि सबसे लंबा है, लेकिन किसमें? ऑफ ऑल का मतलब होता है कि ये जो दो बॉय है उनके कंपैरिजन में, या तो पूरा क्लास हम ले सकते हैं या तो पूरा एक ग्रुप ले सकते हैं, ओके. तो उन पूरे ग्रुप में या पूरे क्लास में सबसे लंबा है. यस, लेट्स सी दिस अगेन. द थर्ड सेंटेंस टेल्स अस दैट राना इज़ द टॉलेस्ट ऑफ ऑल. सो द एडजेक्टिव टॉलेस्ट इज इन द सुपरलेटिव डिग्री. It is used when more than two people or things are compared. Yes, it is used when more than two people और थिंग्स आर कंपेयर्ड. मोर देन मतलब दो से ज़्यादा जब हम कंपैरिजन करते हैं किसी भी ऑब्जेक्ट की या किसी भी थिंग की, तब हम सुपरलेटिव डिग्री यूज़ करते हैं. ओके, विद दी वर्ड THE बिफोर द एडजेक्टिव. Understood? So this is the positive degree without any comparison. It is second one is the comparative degree with comparison between two objects or two things, and the third one is the superlative degree. Okay, the comparison okay made okay with more than okay between the two, not but more than two. दो से ज़्यादा जिसे कहते हैं ना, ओके उनके साथ अगर हम कंपैरिजन करते हैं तो अब हमें सुपरलेटिव डिग्री यूज़ करनी पड़ती है. ओके, सो yes, the positive, comparative and superlative degrees are called the degrees of comparison. Yes, I will repeat. The positive, comparative and superlative degrees are called the degrees of comparison. जो degrees of comparison है वो तीन हैं. Yes, please remember these are positive degree, comparative degree and superlative degree. Now students, yes, you may have question that how sir tall become taller and taller become tallest. So dear students, there are certain rules to convert that adjective from positive to comparative and comparative to superlative degrees. Okay, so all these rules that we have to keep in our mind. So let's start okay explaining of that rules. So rules for the formation of comparative and superlative degrees. Yes, rules for the formation of comparative and superlative degrees. Yes, let's start with the first rule. Most adjectives form their comparative by adding ER and their superlative degree by adding EST. Yes students, the most common form, okay, we can say the comparative degree form and superlative degree form is by adding the ER and EST at the end of the adjective. Examples are bold become bolder in comparative degree and boldest in superlative degree. Same here in sharp become sharper than sharpest. Understood? Yes, this is the first rule and very common one. Okay, we have to add ER for the comparative degree and we have to add okay EST for the superlative degree. The words which are in we can say in the highlighted red color, they are all called we can say suffixes. Yes, please remember the word suffixes. Students, you may have question that yes, what is called suffix? So suffix is a kind of we can say the group of letters or alphabets that okay are going to add okay at the end of the word. Okay, वर्ड के एंड में अगर कोई दूसरे जो लेटर्स है और अल्फ़ाबेट्स है या हम कह सकते हैं कि ग्रुप ऑफ वर्ड्स है, अगर वो ऐड होते हैं तो उन्हें सफिक्स कहते हैं. ओके, एंड प्रीफिक्स आर कॉल्ड यस देयर आर टू थिंग्स दैट इज प्रीफिक्स एंड सफिक्स. प्रीफिक्स का मतलब होता है कि जो आगे ऐड होता है. ओके, द वर्ड्स और वी कैन से द ग्रुप ऑफ वर्ड्स और लेटर्स दैट आर गोइंग टू ऐड बिफोर द वर्ड. ओके, दैट आर कॉल्ड प्रीफिक्सेस. Okay, so we will discuss this prefix and suffix okay somewhere later. So here sharp become sharper and sharper become sharpest. So this is the very first rule and that is very common one. The second rule is if the last letter of an adjective is E. Okay, if the last letter of an adjective is E, add R or ST. Here R for comparative degree and ST for yes, you understand that superlative degree. So here idle become idler and then idlest. Simple become simpler and simplest. Understood? So this the first column is for positive degree, second column is for comparative degree and third column is for superlative degree. So second rule is very simple. If the last letter of the adjective is E, just add R and ST for comparative and superlative degree respectively. Now let's start the third rule or next rule. If the last letter of an adjective is Y with a consonant before it, then replace the Y with I and add ER or EST. So students, to understand this word, we have to look at over this positive degree. The word first one is adjective is pretty. So here y is at the end of the adjective and it is followed by a consonant. Okay, consonant means t here, over here t. So whenever we have a y at the end with a consonant sound, okay, before it, so we have to make two changes. Remember, these two changes are, we have to replace y, we have to remove y, and we have to put I in place of y. So here pre double t I, y become I, and then we have to add er for the comparative degree, and we have to add est for the superlative degree. So yes, look at the adjectives that form, okay, after this rule. Pretty become prettier, and then prettiest. Yes, iest, ier. Same for the mighty, mightier, mightiest. Okay, mighty, mightier, mightiest. Then lazy, lazier, laziest. Understood? This is very common, or you can say simple rules, but we have to remember all these rules, that when and where we have to put, or we can say we have to add different letters. Next rule is, but if the y has a vowel before it, then do not change the y to I. Now we have another rule, okay, which is also connected with the previous rule. If y is followed by a, we can say, vowel, then we don't have to remove y, we have to continue, we can say, the spelling of same. So gray become grayer and grayest. Yes, grey, here e is a vowel, okay, and at the last y is there, so we have to just put er for the comparative degree, and we have to add est for the superlative degree. Understood? Gray, grayer, grayest. Okay, next one is, if an adjective is a one syllable word, I will repeat, if an adjective is a one syllable word ending with a consonant sound, double the last letter and add er or est. वन सिलेबल का मतलब है कि जिसमें सिर्फ हम एक ही साउंड जो प्रोड्यूस होता है, दैट इज वन सिलेबल ओनली. सो थीन, सैड, हॉट, okay, they are called one syllable words. So if their last word, okay, ending with consonant d, t, okay, and different consonants, then we have to double the last consonant and we have to add er for comparative degree and est for the superlative degree. Examples are thin become thinner, thi double n er, and thinnest, thi double n est. Thin, thinner, thinnest. Then sad, sadder, saddest. Hot, hotter, hottest. So these are the examples of this rule. Okay, here we have to just remember that if the word is one syllable, okay, then we have to double the last consonant and then we have to add er for comparative degree and we have to add est for the superlative degree. The next rule is, if an adjective has more than two syllables, add either more or most before the word. Yes, if this, we can say, adjectives is made up of more than two syllables, okay, more than two syllables. Here's colorful, okay, complicated. So these are syllables, more than two syllables, okay. So we have to add, we can say, a kind of prefix, that is more for the comparative degree and most for the superlative degree. Examples are colorful, then more colorful and most colorful. Complicated, yes, complicated, okay, yeah, we have to pronounce as the syllable also, complicated. Then it will become more complicated and most complicated. So students, these are the basic rules to convert the positive, we can say, adjective or degree into the comparative degree and superlative degree. Okay, we have to use these adjectives, positive, comparative and superlative, in the sentence, in the exercise and for our explanation also. So please go through this table again and again and please remember these rules. Okay, it will help you a lot. Yes students, these are the rules that we have to remember, okay, memorize it for our exercise and for, or we can say, different chapters, okay, based on the adjectives and degrees of comparison. Yes, study these examples of irregular adjectives. Now students, most of the adjectives follow this kind of rules, but few adjectives are there, okay, which are not followed by any rule. So these adjectives are called irregular adjectives. Remember the word irregular adjectives, in which not a single rule is applied, or we can say they do not follow any pattern or any rule. Okay, so yes, I will speak out all these adjectives, so please listen it carefully. Yes, the first word is adjective is good will become better in comparative degree, and better will become best in the superlative degree. Then bad will become worse in comparative degree, and worse become worst in superlative degree. Same as little will become less or lesser in comparative degree, and then it will become least in the superlative degree. Far become farther in comparative degree, and it will become farthest in the superlative degree. Then much or many will become more in comparative degree, and most in superlative degree. Old will become older or elder in comparative degree, and it will become oldest or eldest in superlative degree. Last one is late will become later or later, and it will become latest or last in the superlative degree. So dear students, you can see that all these adjectives are not following any kind of pattern or rule, okay, that we have already discussed in the previous table. So yes, these are also the adjectives in which we have to keep in mind all these irregular adjectives that do not follow any pattern or any rule, okay, forming from positive to comparative and forming from comparative to superlative. So these all adjectives are, we can say, the different in their different degree form. Okay, now students, here we have one note over here. Yes, what is that? Let's read it. It is all about our 3 degrees of comparisons. First one, an adjective in the comparative degree is followed by than word, yes, than, and an adjective in the superlative degree is preceded by the. प्रेसिडेंट का मतलब होता है कि आगे, यस, और फॉलोड का बाद मतलब होता है कि पीछे. तो कंपैरेटिव डिग्री में एडजेक्टिव के बाद हमें ध्यान लगाना है, और सुपरलेटिव डिग्री में यस एडजेक्टिव के पहले हमें दी वर्ड लगाना है. दिस इज द वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट रूल. यस, when the comparative and superlative form of an adjective cannot be formed by adding er and est or more and most, कोई ईयर और ईएसटी या मोर और मोस्ट का मतलब जो रेगुलर रूल से अगर कोई कंपैरेटिव डिग्री या सुपरलेटिव डिग्री बनता नहीं है, देन द एडजेक्टिव इज कॉल्ड एन इरेगुलर एडजेक्टिव. ओके, द एडजेक्टिव्स दैट वी आर ओके discussing about this table, okay, these all adjectives are called irregular adjectives because they do not follow any kind of rules patterns, okay, forming from positive to comparative and from comparative to superlative degree. So students, these are the basic rules how to form the positive into the comparative degree and comparative to superlative degree. Okay, let's see the next one. Yes, now it's a kind of little bit, we can say, quick revision that what we have completed. Do you remember? Yes, what you have to remember, that first one is positive degree when we are not making comparison. Yes, we have to keeping this in our mind that yes, positive degree in which we don't have to make any comparison, okay, only the simple thing, simple description is given about a noun, then or object or thing. Yes, comparative degree means when we are comparing two persons, okay, two objects, two things, two ideas, two actions, okay, there are many things, okay, but when we are comparing, okay, two things, two objects, okay, two persons, so it is called comparative degree. Okay, third one is superlative degree. When we are comparing more than two persons, okay, more than two persons, दो से ज़्यादा जब हम compare करते हैं persons, object, idea, okay, then it is called superlative degree, or we can say the adjective is in superlative degree. जो adjective है वो superlative degree में है. But in comparative and superlative degree, what we have to remember? Yes, it is discussed in the previous one only. Yes, we have to put then word after the adjective in comparative degree, and we have to put the word the before the adjective in superlative degree. So yes, we have to keep these rules in our mind. Okay, other rules, okay, how to form the comparative degree and superlative degree. Yes, dear students, I will give you one extra table on the degrees of comparison, in which, yes, the PDF will be sent to in the WhatsApp group. You have to go through that PDF and you have to just, we can say, read and remember, we can say learn also all these adjectives that given in that PDF. These are all for our extra work, we can say. Yes, you have to remember all that adjectives from positive to comparative and comparative to superlative with these rules, okay. Yes, with followed by these rules, all these rules, how to put R, or we can say only ST, ER, EST, then only I or ER, or we can say we have to double the last consonant, and then we have to add more for comparative degree and most for the superlative degree, and with the yes separate table of yes irregular adjectives. So you will get all those extra adjectives for practice. Yes, remember, for the practice. So you have to go through that PDF. You don't have to, we can say, uh, ignore it, okay. You have to, okay, read that PDF and you have to learn that all the degrees, okay, degree of comparison. Yes, students, after that one we have to go through that last one also, in which the rules, okay, that we have discussed earlier in the short form, or we can say in the very, we can say in one line rules only. Adjectives have degree of comparison. To form comparative and superlative degree, yes, these are the rules. Most adjectives add er and est. This is the first and common rule, first one. Second, adjectives ending in e add r and st, okay. Then adjectives ending in consonant plus y add ier and iest, ier and iest. Adjectives ending in vowel plus y add er and est. Dear students, the first one is for comparative degree and the second one is for the superlative degree, okay. So don't get confused. Adjectives with one syllable ending in consonant double the consonant and add er and est. Yes, the next one is before adjectives having more than two syllables we add more and most, okay. So these are called prefixes. So if the adjectives are having more than, or we can say having more than two syllables, okay, we have to add more and most. Then last one, some adjectives do not follow any rules, okay. Did you remember what these adjectives are called? Yes, these adjectives are called irregular adjectives. Yes, students, this is all about the, we can say, degrees of comparison, in which we have completed the three different degrees of comparison. They are, yes, first one is positive degree, then comparative degree and superlative degree. Yes, in short, if you have to remember all these things, okay, just remember that first one, in positive degree we don't have to make any comparison. For comparative degree we have to make comparison of two persons, objects or things. In superlative degree we have to make comparison, okay, more than two persons, objects or things, okay. So all these three are the degrees of comparison. So yes, students, we have completed the degrees of comparison. So this is all about our degrees of comparison, and I will end the first session over here. In the second session, we will continue the textbook exercise and with the explanation of degrees of comparison. Okay, so we will meet in the second session. Thank you.